sovn.com.
Warning, whether you're retired or soon to be retired, listen up. Do not be caught in one or more of the 11 mistakes retirees make that could cost you all of your money. It doesn't matter how well off you are financially, you could make the easy mistake that washes away all of your financial security. Call Optimum Retirement Planning today at 866-882-5447 to make sure that you are not wasting your money. Call now and receive your free copy of the 11 biggest mistakes retirees make and how to avoid them. 866-882-5447.
Get things done with power, comfort, and speed in a Kubota RTV utility vehicle. Now you can get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 4 years during our More Power to You sales event. 0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 48 months on select equipment now through June 30th, 2015. Not available for rental, national accounts, governmental customers, or with some customer instant rebate offers. Financing through Kubota Credit Corporation, USA, subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll-free 1-888-465-8268. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
Need more fodder while arguing with your liberal friends? We've got you covered. 660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Okay, so near as we can tell, there's a British election going on, and there is all kinds of ridiculous media falderall that is really that's really funny to watch. You know, America does not have a patent on ridiculous media coverage. In fact, the Brits are pretty good at this. The liberal papers, the Labour Party papers in Great Britain have been talking about how close the election is, how close it is. It's a neck and neck. Meantime, the conservative government continues to kick their butts over there, and those are important. Those are important things. Yeah. It's a shame that the U.S. media, presumably most Americans, don't know anything about the parliamentary election. It is the most breathless and consequential in years. This is politics at its best. Total engagement with almost everything up for grabs. Flying into Heathrow over the weekend, you could hear the political speculation and gossip rise up as soon as you reach the baggage carousel. Forget about the royal baby, but in a way, U.S. indifference is understandable. Almost every possible election outcome will make Britain less relevant to the United States and less significant in the world. It's really an end of Britain as we know of sort of moment. At least it is a slide of some magnitude for the British establishment that for so long has cottoned up to U.S. power and a challenge to the two-party system that is so often aligned with U.S. parties and presidents. Conservative Party's Margaret Thatcher with Republican Ronald Reagan, Labor Party's Tony Blair with Democrat Bill Clinton. A different Britain is a foregone conclusion. This is an election about losing power, of having to commit to a kind of suicide to achieve what remains of power. Let me explain what's going on here. The Conservatives, once deemed unelectable because of their nastiness, came to power in 2010 on a carefully calibrated program of moderation and a softening of their mean-spirited image. David Cameron, a former PR man, was elected. Now they've been forced to the right once again by a challenge from the upstart anti-immigrant, anti-Europe UKIP, UK Independence Party. The nastiest of the nasties, as qualified by the USA Today article on this. Its charismatically obnoxious leader, Nigel Farage. To claw back support, the Conservatives have had to risk turning themselves back to the kind of nasties despised by most of the nation. What? Seriously? So this is their version of the Tea Party, is that right? Jeez. Labor, which turned itself from hardcore lefties to new labor moderates, have held power for 13 years under Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, always derived significant support from Scotland. But most of the more than 50 seats as it held will likely shift to the Scottish National Party, which echoes the old Labour spend, tax, and kill the rich song. Once again, you know, this is one of our biggest allies. its political health is important to us. For Labor and its leader, Ed Miliband, to have any hope of forming a government, they'll have to align with the nationalists and their charismatic and implacable leader, Nicola Sturgeon, making Labor a mirror image of the UKIP. Aligned conservatives, anathema to the majority of Britons. Anyway, it's hard to fathom a greater political irony than the current leverage held by Scotland. Remember, the Scots defeated a referendum to declare themselves independent of the UK and the English. While the vote was stoutly in favor of retaining the Union, the result has been a stampede along formerly Labour-supporting Scots to the SNP, whose central platform is Scottish independence. This means the Scots, who hold the key to Labour's working majority in Parliament, in a very real way, might come to control England, which will come to mean another referendum, and eventually, if you try enough, a breakaway Scotland and a non-united kingdom. In similar fashion, the Conservatives, after parrying and dancing around the issues of UK's status in the European Union, have been forced by their courtship of the UKIP voters into an absolute promise of an up or down vote for continued EU membership, a vote that will likely go down. So is the United Kingdom actually finishing its run? Really? Methinks there is many lives and many years left in the life of the UK. Anyway, they're going to have to figure out some way of keeping Britain into the European sphere, and they probably will. No wonder the White House is cooler and the U.S. media indifferent to Britain. In most scenarios, it gets smaller and more isolated. One issue is the campaign of the fate of the Trident submarines. Labour and the SNP are likely to dump the subs and Britain's status as a nuclear power. I guarantee you that won't happen. Politics is about winners, yet especially perplexing from an outsider point of view. This election is likely to produce only losers, with neither Labor nor the Conservatives gaining the clear political, moral, or possibly even legal upper hand to form a government. Now, here's the situation. This is a result of multiculturalism and degenerate politics. That's what all this is, Vicky. This is what can happen to the United States of America, although I'm really very, very sure that thanks to the fact that all of us speak English mostly, and we don't have another country embedded in our own, although illegal immigrants are doing their absolute dead level best to form one, along with their leftist political supporters, trying to create the same kind of angry subculture in the United States. To what end? You know, all this stuff, all this hassle about Scotland and England and all of this. A United Kingdom is a better country. Most of these people are going to have to come to their senses at one point or another and say, hey, this union's worth saving. The issue is, the issue is that all that being said, when you have a government that does not accede to the wishes of the people, bad things happen. The people of the United States have, in no uncertain terms, told the government what they wanted and what they did not want, only to be ignored by the government. We've got another great example of it right this very minute. We don't need the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act is a bad thing. It turned the United States government into the biggest threat against freedom and liberty in this nation. It needs to go. And while the president wants a lot of things changed in the Patriot Act, and while the House is trying to figure out how to change the Patriot Act, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is doing his dead level best to just extend it. And there is no reason for him to do so. This sucker doesn't work. It doesn't work. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. We simply must, in this nation, avoid this kind of degenerate politics for politics' sake. We have to get back to the way it used to be. We have to get back to a United States where the government worked for the people and not vice versa. The people of the United States deserve a government that looks after their interests, not the interests of the party. And we have to do something about our media that reports their side of the argument to the exclusion of all else. Now, a lot of this has to do with the fact that when leftists are in power, they just run amok. That's a lot of what this is. When Republicans get elected next time, there will be a palpable shift in the way we deal with things in America. We run the risk of going to the wrong edge of the political spectrum. In other words, what we run the risk of is, if we're not very, very careful, is in our righteous understanding that the policies of conservative government are better. They are better. We have to make sure that the interests of the people are being covered. Now, I don't know what we do with a press that has abandoned the truth and chosen sides. At some level, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to reverse a Reagan-era deregulation that was made complete in 1996. We're going to have to reverse the Telecommunications Act of 1996. Now, a lot of broadcasters that I deal with disagree with this vehemently. But what we have learned is that absent regulations that demand that news and editorials be separated, the news and editorial content be separate, all we get is editorial content. We're not getting the news. I do my best on this broadcast to do so. But I'll tell you, the Wells Report is nourished by these very same people who, for whatever reason, do not report the truth. We have to glean the truth. Most of the time, over 90%, wouldn't you think? 95? About 95% of the time we get it right. Beautifully. But it's hard work. It's a lot easier to just go with the flow. The problem with all of that is, okay, going with the flow does not serve we the people. And that's what we have to do. 866-660-5759. By the way, there's now a severe thunderstorm warning for Rockwall, Dallas, and Tarrant County until 11:15. Quarter-size hail is possible. Wind can get up to 60 miles an hour. Woo. 60 miles an hour.
Jim Matthews, CP.
866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Like I said, if you are enmeshed in bad weather, and there is flash flooding out there, heavy rain and wind near Valley View, and I guess that's near Dallas. Is that right? Yeah. There's standing water in the roads. By the way, if you are driving down the road right this very moment, be very, very careful. You can find a pool of water, and finding one of those when you're driving down the road at 70 is a bad day. Okay? We're keeping our eye open for tornado warnings, et cetera, et cetera. The latest we have is a severe thunderstorm warning for Rockwall, Dallas, and Tarrant County until 11:15. Quarter-size hail, 60 mile an hour per hour winds, and buckle your seatbelts. 866-660-5759 is our telephone number. If you're in heavy weather, let us know. 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report. Hey, look, it happens. Trouble with the IRS. You got to get rid of the trouble with the IRS. There are a lot of ways to do it. One of the best ways, if not the very best way, is to contact Jim Matthews, CPA. I met Jim. He's a great guy. You got to go by and see him. This is a guy who runs a company that you can trust. They've got an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've helped a lot of taxpayers in Texas with all kinds of IRS issues. They're located right here in North Texas, experienced, local, and results-driven. They're going to do exactly what's necessary to get you out of trouble with the IRS if that's where you are, clean things up with the IRS if that's where you are, and let you get on with your life absent worrying about the IRS if that's where you want to be. Call Jim Matthews CPA Incorporated right this very moment. 972-613-3034. That's right. You can call right now. Leave a message. 972-613-3034. 972-613-3034. Call them right now. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report. They'll do very, very good work for you. They'll give you something extra special. Mark my words. Visit JimMatthewsCPA.com. Get your life back from the IRS. Contact Jim Matthews CPA.
Hi, I'm John Hill, founder of the Good Contractors List. I get asked a lot if the Good Contractors List is like Angie's List, so I thought I'd take the time to do a comparison and let you decide. On the Good Contractors List, we actually meet every one of our contractors face-to-face and have an extensive screening process. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. On the Good Contractors List, if issues arise with our contractors, we get physically involved and will come to your home if necessary. On Angie's List, you can pay to write a bad review. The Good Contractors List takes into consideration things like overhead and sales tactics when choosing our contractors. On Angie's List, you can pay to read reviews. If one of our contractors refuses to fix a problem, we investigate fully and pay up to $10,000 of our own money to get it fixed. On Angie's List, you can write a bad review and you're on your own. The Good Contractors List is absolutely free with a $10,000 guarantee. Reviews are good. Responsibility is better.
Good Contractors List.
Another hot Texas summer is upon us, and Mathis Air and Heat has a great offer for you right off the bat. With the American Standard All-Star Sales Event, Mathis Air is offering 100% financing and 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's 60 months of complete qualifying American Standard systems with approved credit or cash rebates. Mathis Air knows that's a home run, and with free estimates on equipment replacements, that's a grand slam. When it comes to service, call 972-279-4COOL for a $39 service call. Don't get thrown a curveball. Go with the company you can trust. As a certified customer care dealer, Mathis Air is about quality, honesty, and a great installation because that's what matters most. Special financing or rebates available on qualifying products. See Mathis Air and Heat, your independent American Standard dealer, for details. Or call 888-840-8084 for financing program details about credit costs. Offer expires June 30th, 2015. Make sure you're working with the best. Mathis Air and Heat. Call now, 972-279-4COOL. That's 972-279-4266.
This is Dan Tullis, and I just called
Joel Clark,
one of Select Quote Insurance Services' term life agents.
Hi, Mr. Tullis.
Joel, how does Select Quote save you money on term life insurance?
Well, buying term life insurance is all about choosing the right company. Let's say you take antidepressants or you smoke. All insurance companies are going to price that differently. We'll impartially shop all the companies we represent to find you the best price.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. I just got a man, 40 years old, on cholesterol medication, a $500,000 policy with a highly rated insurance company. His price, $22 a month.
Call 1-800-979-3269 and see how affordable term life insurance can be. That's 1-800-979-3269. 1-800-979-3269. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This is an announcement for all people who want to take a risk-free challenge to whiten their teeth in 5 minutes. By calling now, you can whiten your teeth in 5 minutes using clinically proven power swabs. This risk-free challenge is for people whose smile has been yellowed by coffee, tea, red wine, or smoking. The Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is available by responding to this advertisement. If lines are busy, try again. Because the Power Swabs 5-minute challenge is exclusive, it's not available in drugstores. Power Swabs was formulated by Dr. Martin Ginniger and whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes to see how white your smile could be. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's That's 1-800-281-4037. Transform your smile into a wow, you look great smile. Dial 1-800-281-4037. That's 1-800-281-4037.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Yeah, heavy weather in the area as we have all kinds of serious trouble with big storms in North Texas. We are waiting for some definitive reporting on Britain's election. It looks like the Conservatives are going to win, but there's an awful lot of people that are, I was talking about the media, and the media has put out these pictures of what their front pages are going to be, some of their publications, and they're like absolutely selling out. Another 5 years, something like that. It's truly interesting to see the way they do this, and they're just in a position where okay, here we go. Here's what the Daily Mirror is going to have on their front page. Tomorrow's front page: 5 more damned years. What do they want? If they stick with this social garbage that they have there, like the National Health Service and so on and so forth, they're going to run out of money. They're going to run out of cash, and what they're going to end up with is they're going to end up with a country that is bankrupt. And by the way, they're trying to figure out whether the European Union is going to have Britain in it. And the European Union is typically European. They can't get together. They just can't do it. They're talking about the United Kingdom Independence Party, led by Nigel Farage, who wants Britain to pull out of the European Union. It's not going to. They also want to curb immigration, make it harder for immigrants to get state benefits, which is absolutely necessary. The way this works out is that the Tories, the conservatives over there, once said that party, the United Kingdom Independence Party, is full of fruitcakes, loonies, and closet racists. The thing about it is that, that's where it's going. This multiculturalism, everybody is everybody thing just doesn't work. The Liberal Democrats, the centrist party that's been in coalition with the conservatives for the past 5 years, they're bracing for a tough night. And austerity is the rule of the day in Great Britain because their country is on the ropes financially because of Labour Party waste. This could be our future. There are a lot of people that are saying, this could be the end of the United Kingdom as Ireland and Scotland and all of those nations split off and become their own nations again. I doubt that's going to happen, but listen to the shrill cries of the media as they're trying to do everything they possibly can to keep the status quo ante in place or get rid of the status quo ante. Let's get back to Labour Party politics, where all the money in the world plus money we don't have is spent for the sake of political votes, and everybody's happy for a time. Greece, ring a bell? You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. We'll be back with more coming up in just a moment. Are you having trouble figuring out how to invest for retirement with all the recent market volatility, falling oil prices, and turmoil around the world? Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report for InvestingMakesMeSick.com. Most people think their investment options are only stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or annuities. That's not true. Here's Walt Parker.
If you have an IRA or a 401k from a former employer, you have investment choices that you may not even realize you have. You've worked hard to accumulate your money and deserve to understand what your investments are. InvestingMakesMeSick.com has always offered the We Come to You service. Retirement is right around the corner. Time is money. We want to make sure that you understand your investments and that there's more than just